Hey there, it's Matt, and welcome back to Brand Genesis. So in this episode, I'm going to run some Facebook ads to start building a bit of an audience for the new brand. Then I'm also going to do a little more product research for some of the products that I've already selected. So I've got my Facebook page set up. Still waiting on a few samples to come in, and also have to start going back and forth with suppliers on pricing before I place an order. And we're also kind of in the middle of Chinese New Year, which is awesome. That means the suppliers are kind of shut down for a couple weeks, but that doesn't mean there's nothing I can do. So what I'd like to do is, now that I have a Facebook page set up, I've got my cool timeline cover graphic. I want to get a few people on the page, real people actually engaging with me on the page. I want to get the word out that this brand exists, even though I don't necessarily know what products it's going to be selling yet. I have a general idea. Obviously, it's going to be fitness stuff, and I've got it narrowed down to 6 different products. But I want to at least get some traction going on this page. I want to get a few likes on there, and then hopefully build up a bit of an audience so that even before the products go live, I immediately have a group of people I can give a coupon to, for example, to get some sales going on Amazon, and then also hopefully start getting some reviews. And this is all stuff that can be done before the product's even ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little Facebook ad campaign. I'll probably set a budget of, say $100. So I'll set a budget of $100. We'll let the campaign run, spend only $100, and I'll evaluate the cost per like. And to see, how good it goes. So cost per like may be as much as $1 or $2, which is a little expensive, or hopefully it's cheaper. But it depends how good of a job I do at picking the right audiences, and how good of a job I do at creating good ad copy and ad images and giving them a compelling enough reason to like the page. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and create this little ad campaign here. So I am going to go over to Promote, Boost Your Page. And here's what it's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is, so that's all good to go. So I can edit some of this text. So I'm going to say something like, want free fitness gear, like our page, like this page. I'll say like our page now for exclusive coupons and deals for our new line of fitness, for our new gear. Trying to stay underneath their text limit. So I think that should be good to go. So add image. What I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to get rid of, actually we'll leave all the formats on here, it's fine. Actually, you know what, I may just run the right column for now, but let me see what this looks like first. So I may run all 3. Just want to see what it looks like whenever I upload these images, because I got an idea. I kind of want to be targeting CrossFit people, so I may just target guys, especially because the big banner ad is a big guy. So I'm going to run some images of some, women doing CrossFit, so hopefully that gets some attention, get some guys' attention. So I believe I have one that's that big, so if I upload, let me see, I think it's this one. And we'll start off with that. So that looks all good there. So that may be the first one I roll with. Location only going to do United States, just because that's the only place my products will be available at. And for right now, I'm just going to target only CrossFit people, just because I feel like that's a very close match to the kind of products that I'm going to be selling. So let's look that up, see what that audience looks like. So CrossFit games, CrossFit training, CrossFit. That one's probably a good match. So let's see. So we'll probably start there. We'll say the age, let's say 22 to 45 is probably fine. Let's only do men for right now, just because I've got that big image that probably is only going to appeal to them. So duration, let's say 7 days. Facebook campaign, we'll do say 15. So let me see, what does that put us at? 15, $105. It's close enough, so good to go. Paying for your ad, so that's all good. So US dollars. So should be good to go. And actually, before I turn this on, I think I want to select a different image. One that I think will just pop a little bit more. Because remember, it's, you really want to be able to grab people's attention in these ads. So I feel like this one just shows a little bit more of her face and all that sort of stuff. You can at least tell what's going on in the picture, not just like some girl's armpits. So this one should work a little bit better. So I'm going to turn that one on. Looks fine in mobile. Looks fine in right column. So got payment information, all that sort of good stuff. And we will turn this on, boost it, and we'll see what happens, see what the numbers end up looking like. So it's going to submit the promotion. It'll probably go live after a little while and should be good to go. So just to take a look at this, targeting men aged 22 to 45, live in the United States, have 7 interests. Promotion will run for 7 days. Budget is $105. So all that should be good to go. And yeah, so we'll let that run and see how it turns out. So I got a notification yesterday that my ad I tried to put up did not get approved. So I'll see if I can pull that up again real quick. Your ad wasn't approved. So this happens sometimes, especially with a new ad account, and especially if you're doing something that Facebook, they're constantly changing their policies and whatnot. So it's not that uncommon. Just make sure you listen to what they say and fix it. So let's see if it still says why it did not get approved. So I can't seem to find out the message of why it got disapproved. But basically it was just a little message that said something like, the ad shouldn't focus on the model, in this case, the person in the picture. It should focus on the product or the service or the business. So they didn't like just putting some kind of racy image of this girl working out, even though, I thought it would generate more likes, but they didn't like that, so that's fine. So I changed it, and I thought about it. I was a little bit concerned after I launched the campaign. I was like, if I want to advertise to people that could be potential customers here in the US, it's kind of a weird deal if they are the first people to like the page, if they're literally seeing an ad. Because as you can see on this right-hand side, it shows the number of people who like the page in the ad. And so if you saw an ad, even if it was the coolest thing ever, if it had like 0 likes or 1 like or 10 likes, are you going to be likely to like that yourself? Not really, because it's kind of a weird deal. You're like, could this be spam? I don't know what this is. So I thought about it, on Facebook, you can get a lot cheaper likes, and there's a lot of activity you can get in other countries, especially to get the thing started. Whether they're real accounts or not, doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. This is a legitimate way to get them. You're not going out and buying them on other sites, because you can buy likes on other sites like Fiverr.com, but Facebook's been cracking down on that, and so it's not really what you want to do. So do it Facebook once, give them a few dollars, get us some likes on your page. So what I did is I actually went back and launched a new campaign. I had to do a new ad, so to sort of fix that issue. So I launched a new campaign with a new ad, but I changed the audience group. So if I can sort of click all the way down into the ad, so I'll show you the ad real quick. Let's see if we can pull it up here. All right, so as you can see, all I did was let Facebook automatically pull the ad from, or the timeline cover graphic from my Facebook page. And the text is pretty much the same. I did it off of memory, so I didn't like copy and paste it, but it's pretty much the same thing. Want free fitness gear? Like our page for exclusive coupons and deals on our new products. Got the same sort of image that's on the timeline cover, so there's perfect congruency if somebody goes from here to the actual Facebook page. And as you can see, I've already gotten 714 likes. But let me show you the data, because the data is kind of crazy. I don't think these people are going to convert into customers. However, it'll give some social proof on the page. So if somebody I advertise to real potential customers here in the US, it's not going to be, they're not going to be the first person ever to like the page. So if I take a look at the data, as you can see, I've gotten 675 page likes at 2 cents a like, and I've only spent about $15. And so now I have 700 and something people that are liking this page, and I've only spent 2 cents for each person, or $15.21 or 28 cents total. It's pretty crazy. Now, if you look at the data from where these people are coming from, A lot of it is from, people outside the US. And, like I said, I mean, it could be people that are bots. I don't necessarily know. But if I look down here, if I look at country, you will see that a lot of the people are coming from the Philippines. So let me just move this over so it's a little easier to see. So you can see that a lot of people are coming from Pakistan. 447 of them are from Pakistan. So that's the vast majority of them, getting 2-cent likes there. Philippines, 210 of those, 2-cent likes, and some from Mexico and India, and some from South Africa. But they're all pretty cheap. I just chose countries where I know it's fairly inexpensive to advertise. So as you can see, I chose living in Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, India, Mexico, New Zealand, Philippines, Pakistan, and South Africa. Now, Australia, Canada, and United Kingdom are not necessarily, or New Zealand, are not necessarily that cheap to advertise in. I just threw them in there because Facebook will do its own sort of optimization to get the cheapest likes on this kind of campaign. And so Pakistan and Philippines are where it's getting me the cheapest likes. And so all I did was schedule this thing to spend about $20 a day for 3 days total. And it doesn't look like it will even spend that entire budget, I'm not sure. But let it spend for about 3 days, $20 a day, so maybe a maximum cost of $60. I mean, at this rate, if I actually do spend $60 divided by 0.02, that'll be 3,000 likes. That's some pretty good social proof. I don't know if it'll quite spend that whole budget. It'll cut off in a couple days. So what I think I'll do after that is, regardless of how much it spends, I'll just let it spend whatever it's going to spend, up to $20 a day for those 3 days. Then after that, then I'll launch a real campaign, maybe using the same image, maybe testing a different image to people that could be in the actual audience. So people here in the US, I targeted the same groups, CrossFit people and people that are like these Spartan Race and Warrior Dash and stuff like that. So I'll probably use that same stuff. I'll just target only people in the US. That'll really be the only difference. And then so hopefully we'll get some likes of some real people here in the US that won't be the first people to like it. So yeah, so pretty cool. So getting some good likes. Like I said, this is purely just a social proof thing. I don't expect these people to convert into customers, but it only costs, $50 or $60 when it's done with it. And I'll have a good base for growing the real fan base of this page. So for one of the products I'm looking at for the resistance band, it's the only one that has different variations. And so variations are not necessarily ideal for a starting product because you have to order multiple units of the product, multiple different sizes or colors or whatever the variations are, just to have a product live. Because if you order just one, and maybe that's not the one that people actually like, then you're kind of in a bad position. And so if you're just starting out, I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting with a product with variations, but I'm still looking at this one. So if you look at this one of the challenges is Amazon looks like they've rolled out a new feature that for some categories, you can tell a different bestseller rank for each variation. But for some categories, you can't anymore, at least for right now. So I don't have a good idea of which variation actually sells the best unless I do a little bit of digging. But if you look at this right now, so if I'm on this black color, which looks like it's the 60 to 150 pounds of resistance, if I scroll down to the bestseller rank, I can see here that it's 139 in sports and outdoors. Okay, let's see how the difference is between the purple one. Purple one is 5 to 35 pounds of resistance. If I scroll down, 139 in sports and outdoors. So I can't really tell which variation is actually the most popular, but what I think I want to do anyways is just order a little bit of each variation. But if I contact the supplier and the supplier tells me that I have to order 500 of each color or each size of resistance, then it's probably going to be kind of a no-go for me because it's going to be hard to get in the game. I don't want to order that many units just to get started. But I did contact one supplier and they said that they can do as little as 30 units of a single variation. So I'm still going back and forth on some information for that, but just show you what that looks like. So if I go over here, so as you can see the yellow, so I started putting together how many units I'd want to order. So still going back on pricing, so this will probably go down a little bit. They said to add a logo, it's going to be about 7, closer to 8 cents to add a logo. So if I look for this yellow 3 to 30 pounds, total price $1.62 if I order 30 of those, and so on. And these ones, after I looked at some descriptions, some of these tell you kind of which one is the most popular. So multiple bands. Do you think you need a number 4? So number 4 is actually, I believe, their most popular. So number 4 is the 50 to 120 pounds. And so if you look over here, so I'm ordering or plan to order 120 of those and 120 of the couple around there because I think those are the most popular ones. And so these other ones, are less popular, but I still want to go ahead and get some in inventory just so I can see what sells the best. Because some people will order different sizes of bands, and I'll just keep replenishing the ones that actually end up selling the best. And so, as you can see here, if I order 30, 30, 30, these are all the sizes they have, and then 120, 120, 120, and 30, 30, that ends up being about 510 units. So we'll see what they say about that. It ends up costing about $3,700 with the logo put on, and there may be some additional shipping charges. Now, I could possibly go lower if I wanted to. I could skip out on ordering some of these colors. I could reduce this to reduce the cost of the inventory order. But here's where I'm starting at least from a negotiation standpoint. So that's kind of the challenge of ordering products with variations. If I didn't have to do variations, maybe I can order a product that was just one of these. For example, it doesn't really matter what product it is. And if I ordered 500 of those, then my total starting cost would be about $1,800. Assuming that's the price of the product. So as you can see, it can be much more expensive to start with a product with variations, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's kind of the interesting part about variations. And right now with some categories, where you can't even necessarily tell which variation is selling the best. So I'm here at a hotel in Vancouver, actually, here for the TED 2016 event. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm here up at 6 in the morning, I guess it is now, doing a little bit of work, and then got a call, and then going to start getting ready, actually going to work out, then going to get ready to go to the first day of the conference. So got all that going. So anyway, so what I wanted to show you real quick is I started doing a little bit of research on these wooden rings. So if I look up wooden gymnastics rings versus ABS, because the wooden ones turned out a little more expensive, but I don't really know because I don't use the rings a lot. I've used them occasionally in the gym, but I don't use them all the time, and so I don't really know which ones are the best. And so I started doing a little bit of research here. So then, as you can see where this is kind of going, this headline is "Given to the Awesomeness of Wood Rings." So let's see. This person says, "I want to buy some gymnastics rings. Material-wise, should I go ABS plastic or wooden? Is there little difference? I have both. I personally love the wooden rings. I stick to them much better. I still use chalk, blah, blah, blah. It's just more difficult to grip the rings because it's plastic. Sweat equals slippery. Wooden is superior. I'm considering wooden ones. Blah, blah, blah. Wood is nicer. Plastic is cheaper." This person's having to wrap hockey tape around the plastic rings. The wooden ones are nicer, but I haven't had anything to complain about the other ones. People say these polycarbonate ones are better than the ABS. I've got wood rings. Wouldn't trade them for the world. I couldn't if you can afford them or get them during a sale. Like, I don't understand how much people are. I didn't see that people are charging that much more for them, so they're not really that expensive from a cost standpoint. So that's cool. Just pony up and get the wooden rings. So overall, people are basically saying, says wood feels the best, has the best grip, less durable in outside conditions. I don't think most people are using them in outside. Thinks I'd probably go with the wood ones. Yeah, so most people are basically saying that the wooden ones are better. So then with that in mind, I have this one supplier that I've been going back and forth with. They're now back in the office apparently after the Chinese New Year, and so they're telling me I can do 500 pieces with a logo, with a white box. The price is FOB Shanghai, $9.80 a unit. And they apparently can also do some cool red straps for me with the logo on it that I was asking about. But then I started doing this research, and I was like, well, I don't want to waste the supplier's time anymore, so I need to find out if they can actually do the wooden rings. So that's great to hear. Quick question, do you also offer the wooden gymnastics rings? Yes, we also offer the wooden gymnastics rings. So I'm going to start going back and forth with this supplier on the wooden gymnastics rings. So I'm going to say, okay, great. Can you please send me pictures of your wooden gymnastics
rings. I'm going to try, it's a little bit of a risk, try to avoid having to order another sample because these products seem to be almost identical. I mean, their plastic rings are about the same as that other manufacturer's. So I'm just going to see what happens if they send me some pictures. I may end up having to order another sample of this one just to be double sure. So can you please send me a picture of the wooden gymnastics rings? I am looking to order 500 units with red straps and logo on these straps. Um, and with white box as packaging with my logo branding on the outside of the white box. So yeah, so had to do a little bit of product research there to find out what people actually wanted. Because on Amazon, you could see about half the products that were selling well were the wooden ones, half the ones were the plastic ones. So I had to dig into that a little bit.
So the first Facebook campaign for my brand page has complete, or I actually ended up just stopping it because it kind of got what I needed it to do. So as you can see here, got 2,702 page likes for about $56, $57 at about 2 cents a like. Reached about 30,000 people, and so most of these likes came from outside the U.S. because pretty much all of them, because that's all that I was targeting. Because just wanted to build up some social proof on here, so then when I start targeting the ideal audience, they will actually, won't be the first people liking the page, which is kind of weird. So now I'm going to run a campaign to people actually only in the US because, selling initially, I'll be selling only on Amazon.com. So I only want to target people in the US. And so I'm gonna create a campaign to target them now that I have 2,702 likes, which I think actually probably a little bit more. 2,842 because there's some, social spread whenever these campaigns start running. So more than I actually picked up in that campaign. So gonna run a new campaign, so to target only people in the US to try to build up some good legitimate likes. There's other ones that are legitimate. I have no idea what those accounts are, but some targeted likes for the people that I think may actually end up buying the product. So I'm going to see what happens if I run a little campaign targeting people in the US that are in the target market. So I'm going to do that right now. So going to promote the page again. Manage page promotions. So it looks like I can't just do this sort of easy way. So what I'm going to do is go over here and see if I can copy this, create similar campaign. So I'm going to name this, this is going to be USA campaign. So I want to get page likes, all that's good to go. Then I want to edit the ad set. And so this is the part where I'll need to change the targeting. So I'm going to remove all these other countries. Include only United States. Include people there in the US. This is good. English. I'm going to put English here. That'll be good. I'm targeting all these CrossFit people and people that like these sort of adventure races. And daily budget, I'm going to do 20 bucks again, and I'll do this for just a few days. And so today is the 13th, so I'll do it from today until, let's say, the 17th. Somehow that ended up backwards. So we're going to end on the 17th. We want to start today. That's fine. These times are fine. Don't need to mess with that. Nope, that's all good. Don't need to mess with that either. Placement is fine. I'll just run them on all placements for now. Not trying to get too fancy with this campaign. So that should be good to go. So targeting people 25 to 45 that are male, that are speak English, that are in the United States, that are interested in these sort of targeted interests. A daily budget, 20 bucks a day, gonna run from the 13th through the 17th. 5 remaining days, your ad set most you'll spend is 100 bucks, so that's all good to go. Bid amount, gonna keep it at automatic. Goal is to get page likes. Then everything else should be good to go. And so there should only be one last thing that I need to change, which is I actually don't need to change it, just need to review it, which is the ad. So want free fitness gear, like our page for exclusive coupons and deals on our new products. So that all looks good. Landing view is fine. Don't need to mess with that. So yeah, should be good to go. So we'll see what happens with this campaign. May need to tweak the copy or the image to make it a little more attractive, but we'll start here and see how this turns out. So the results from the Facebook campaign are in. As you can see on the screen, looks like we had 509 page likes, reached 9,312 people. Cost per like was only 15 cents, which is actually pretty good. Budget was 20 bucks a day. I'm going to go ahead and stop it, but it's at $77.63. Just because, I want to actually get the products live and stuff, and then I may turn this back on. But right now, let's just take a look at a few things. It's kind of interesting. So remember, I chose a specific age group. And so it looks like the age groups that responded the most are 35 to 44 and 25 to 34. Both of those are about the same cost per like. And if I look at gender, I only advertise to men. It doesn't mean women won't be using these products. It's just I feel like that's probably, if I had to pick a audience, it would probably be that audience. Country was all United States. That's all I was advertising to, because if I start off on Amazon.com, I don't want to be, advertising outside of there because it doesn't make any sense. I have to start advertising in the U.S., so that's all good. And if I let's look at placement. So now this is interesting because newsfeed on mobile devices is where we got pretty much all of the traffic from. All of the impressions, all of the likes, 472 of them. And it was also the most expensive, 16 cents. So what I would possibly do if I run this campaign again, say when I'm getting close to get the product live, I would maybe split out the 3 different placements. So newsfeed on desktop, newsfeed on mobile, right column on homepage from desktop. Because newsfeed on desktop, it only got 2 likes, and because it only reached 38 people, but it was only 6 cents a like. That's significantly cheaper than 16 cents, especially if you start scaling up the numbers. If I spend, $500 or $1,000, not saying I necessarily will, but something to consider. I may break those 3 out and see if those numbers stay consistent. With only 2 likes and only 38 impressions, that may or may not actually be valid, but it would just be something to figure out. So anyways, got 509 real likes from real people here in the US that are a good market for the product. 15 cents a like. I'll do that all day long. That's a pretty good cost. I just want to pause this for a little bit, and we'll still be doing some organic posts on the page, and then likely whenever it gets time to say I'm a week away from getting the product live, or maybe have a more targeted message when I actually know what the product is that's going to be going live, then I will probably start turning this campaign on again and try to get, a few thousand likes, because, I get 500 likes, I can boost a post only to those people, but it's still not a lot of people. But if I get a few thousand likes, then maybe I can get enough to get a nice boost if I launch a product and give them a coupon. So so this is pretty good results. I'm pretty happy about this. So going to pause this right now and probably keep this all in here so I can just turn it back on or just copy it whenever it gets closer to having a product live. So now it's time to go ahead and set up your own Facebook ad campaign. In the next episode, you're actually going to see some of the samples that I ordered from China. I'm going to open them up and evaluate them.